Hey guys, welcome back. Happy 4th of July. As you know, we got a GTO sitting behind me, 66. This car has had some issues for a while, and he brought it down here for me to try to sort out, go through it, see what's going on. And the deeper I get, the more I find. So I wasn't even going to do a video on it, but I figured I'm down here on the 4th of July. I'm rewiring the rear of the car right now, and I got some of the stuff sorted on it. You guys saw the picture. Some of you guys might have seen this picture that I put up in the community part of the channel, where the distributor was converted from points to HEI, and the resistor wire was left in the circuit, which is no good. All right, you can't have that. That was rewired properly with 12 gauge wire and a proper connector. So he was complaining that the car would shut off when he drove it. Sometimes it wouldn't start back up. A multitude of things going on. Lights didn't work in the car. Laundry list, right? So all good. I wire up the distributor the right way. I checked the circuit, and I wanted to road test the car, make sure that it ran well, you know, that it didn't break up or anything like that. From what he was describing, that's what it sounded like. At you know, higher RPM, under a load, it would start to break up. So I went with my buddy Dave. He jumped in the car, went for a ride around town, and made it about a block and a half, and the car literally just shut off and locked up on me. And I was like, okay. Got out. What we noticed was Dave was riding shotgun, and this thing has a tripod of, you know, a triple gauge pod inside. I'll show you that in a minute. And he noticed as we were driving, about 2 seconds before it shut off, that the voltmeter was doing this. Okay, it was literally fluctuating from 0 to like 14, 13, whatever. So it was all over the place. And then the car shut off. So instantly we both, you know, we have a short to ground. Something's really not right here. We jump out, pop the hood, and take the battery cable off immediately. And it was good that we had both of us there, because we were able to diagnose it on the spot. He started to touch the cable, and I was moving the battery cable around, and I heard it. You could hear it arc. All right. So took a closer look and found that the main battery cable, which is this guy, okay, yeah, they had a quick connect thing on here. That's gone now. And this car, the wiring goes down by the engine to the starter, and when it goes to the starter, it goes through a steel tube, an insulator tube, I guess you would say, to keep the heat off the wires, you know, on the manifold and stuff. So this wiring harness right about there is where the tube was. You can see that. And here, you can see that. It literally melted through the side of the tube, and that was a really bad thing. So the other wire that came off of the starter was this guy. This is another crap connection, as you can see. This is at some point or another tampered with, you know what I mean? It's not factory. Car's old, so you wouldn't expect it to be, but not the best of connections to use. And you can see here where this was also arcing against the tube, and it melted. So I cut everything, and I removed everything and insulated the tube properly, and pulled the starter down and rewired it. And I actually did it a little different. I did it like an old Ford. I put a solenoid up at the fender well, and that way there is no constant power going down to the starter. You're only going to have it during crank, and it's a lot safer. So this should not happen again, obviously, after being repaired properly, but it's an upgrade. It's a better system. So that's why we did that. In any case, we got that settled. Then I started to take a look at the lights on the car, and well, this is what the lighting circuit looked like in the back of the car. There are more connections and crap back here than, that's actually just tape. Yeah, all kinds of crap back here to, as you can see, twisted together and shrink tubed, and there was a ton of voltage drop here from things like this and things like this. All right, so this was a really crap setup, and I'm in the process of rewiring that now. But I did notice something else that was strange when I was working on the car. Noticed it accidentally. I'll show you. The key was off. I was messing with the lights in the back, had my test light back there, and I reached in. I thought the key was on, and I hit the turn signal switch. As you can see, show you. Okay, as you can see, my turn signal is operating. And then I noticed the key was off. That should be an accessory, circuit. So I said, let me just check this thing real fast for a drain. I'll show you something. Some of you guys may know. Some of you guys definitely will know. Some of you guys may not know. You see how I can set you up here? Hang tight. Okay, so what I wanted to do is check for a parasitic draw, right? We always use a meter. The old school guys on a car like this, when it was, out and about and fairly new, they wouldn't use a meter. They would use this. Good old test light. Don't ever do this with a newer vehicle, please. It doesn't work well. In any case, what you would do is you would put your clamp from the test light on the battery terminal, and then you would touch the negative side of the cable, so you would complete the circuit. And this is a hell of a drain. I don't do it this way, but this is a method you can use on an old vehicle like this, okay? In any case, we'll take the old meter, because I can't tell how much voltage, how much amperage is actually in there with a test light, although I can tell you it's quite a bit. That's a good draw. So this battery is not going to stay alive for long. I'm actually surprised it hasn't gone dead on me in here. And with a meter, obviously, for you guys that aren't familiar, I will show you this. Okay, I am on my milliamp setting. I have my one lead into the amps, the other lead in the ground, common, right? And all I'm gonna do is the same thing. I'm just gonna go across it with the meter. Trying to get you guys a view of the meter. You can see that. And what I like to do is I always like to keep my connection on the battery. I try to kind of pull this up and get the clamp on. I always do this. This is just something I've always done, so I don't lose the connection. Not that it matters on this, but just making a point, I guess. And there's my draw. You see that? It's over an amp. That is one hell of a draw on this thing. So this brings me to the next thing that I wanted to show you guys. A good friend of mine is actually like a brother to me. We spent a whole lot of time together in our younger days, and trained together, did a lot of things together. So he stopped by here yesterday and he brought me a toy. Check this out. He knows how I love my thermal cameras, man. So he doesn't have any use for it, so he brought it down and gave it to me. And this is pretty cool. This is an older model FLIR. It's a TG165 for anybody who's curious. And we're gonna take a look around. I'm gonna flip you guys around. These are actually still available, this model FLIR camera. I've never used it before. I messed with it last night, I took it home. It's pretty neat. I'm gonna turn it on. It has a, I don't know how the lighting is doing here. It's probably not too grand. I almost dropped the camera. That would have sucked. Okay, we're going to turn this on, and we have some pretty neat stuff here with this thing. You got a menu you could go through. You could change the type of material you're checking, whether it be matte surface, glass, you know, what have you. So that's pretty neat, I think. Got a bunch of settings in here. You have a memory card inside here. You can hook this up directly to the computer. You have a charging port here for USB. So pretty freaking cool. And I can just look around. I'm trying to get you guys a good view, which is making it hard for me, but I can look around and look for a heat signature, okay? I don't see anything out here. I checked obvious stuff, right? Check the alternator, check the voltage regulator over there, which you guys probably can't see, but that's the little guy. Most of you guys probably don't even know what that does, or never seen one, young guys. External voltage regulator on an alternator. All right, so anyway, I jumped inside the car, and here's my, I was telling you guys, remember I was telling you guys before about the gauge pod. That's our gauge pod there. I'm gonna just look around. You guys see anything? I see something. I see something. If you notice, my temperature at the gauge pod is 81 degrees, right? I don't know if you guys could actually see that, but 82 degrees, whatever. It's hot in here. In any case, I'm gonna move up. That radio is glowing. Put your hand on it, and it's, ooh, it's hot. Okay, so we have a radio that is on, which could mean one of two things. It could be wired wrong. There could be something else going on here we don't know. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crawl under this thing. I'm not gonna be able to show you this, but I'm going to crawl under the dash. Can't get the camera under there. And I want to take a look at something and just get an idea here. Try that again. There we go. Figured it out. There is the back of the radio. All right, so that guy is nice and bright and warm. And that's the front. Okay, so I have to get to that thing and see what's going on with the radio, but all good, no big deal. All right, so basically, guys, that's it for today. Not really any diag going on aside from this, but I wanted to share this with you guys. I really like this little camera. It's, you know, it's handy. My phone obviously will do the same thing because we have the FLIR built in here, but you know, it's nice to have a standalone camera, and I already got use out of it. So Ned, if you're watching, thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. Let's get this thing done, get it over with, and go home. See you guys later.